Hello, everybody.
Hey.
All right, welcome to the Mikestand. Today, of course, is Sunday, November 30th. So basically, it's the last day of November here, as we are now 11/12 of the way through 2025. 1 month, about 1 month left before we head into 2026. So hopefully,
I'd
everybody,
say exactly 1 month.
yeah. Hopefully everybody's had a good year this year, as we prepare for the last month, of course, the Christmas month. So there's going to be a lot of a lot of stuff going on, for the holidays and stuff. As not that there already hasn't been, but anyways, friendly reminder to everybody, of course, if you haven't already, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. With that being said, before we talk about what's on tap for tonight, I'm going to hand it off to my co-host for the evening, Mr. Rick Piper from Cross Comics, and give him a chance to promote any project he's doing, maybe hype up any shows he's doing this week on his YouTube channel. I think you know the shtick, right there, Rick.
Yeah, I should by now.
Yeah.
Well, as Mike said, my name is Rick. I create my own comic books. Maybe one day we can read them on here, but that might be about 50 years from now. But which Yeah, so I create my own comic books. I have my own YouTube channel. Here is a link to my website. I'm just about to be publishing my fourth comic book. So probably early next year, you'll be able to get it off my website. Some people have already been able to get it. Well, we'll be getting it because they supported my crowdfunding for the printing of it. So, and then there's other surprises coming in the new year. I do have a YouTube channel, as I said. I have shows pretty much every day, but I'm going to be expanding it a little bit. So, it's a lot of stuff to look forward to in 2026 from Cross Comics.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed too. You haven't done as much of the Tuesday night chill stream. Kind of replaced them more with with the draw streams, or the lettering streams you've been doing of late.
Yeah. Well, the chill stream is only supposed to be on Tuesday nights, but usually I'm chilling and I'm coloring. I've been coloring. The last couple, I think Saturday I did some lettering, and beyond that, again, like because I've been wanting to get this book done. So there's, yeah, some of my new content, or I'm gonna try and work it out. Mondays is gonna be like manga Monday, so I'm basically gonna draw up some. I'm gonna start doing some fan art again, so I'll be drawing some manga characters. Tuesday we'll have the chill stream. I'll be doing whatever. Wednesday I will probably draw a DC or Marvel character, and Thursday I'll have my silhouette game. Starting in the new year. So that's probably more December 3rd. Friday, I'll have nothing. Saturday, I will be coloring up something from one of my comics. And then I'm going to be trying to Monday through Friday before I have to go into work to do about a 1 hour stream of me trying to do up two different books. The lesser known Bible stories and my book Insecto, that both got put on hold when I had to start doing all the coloring for Canadian Shield 3. So,
And of course, about once a month you'll be joining me here.
oh
for,
yeah, yes,
for the for the historical comics retrospect as well. As long as we can keep you in the rotation, that'd be cool.
oh yeah.
All
I
right.
can't see any reason for that not to happen.
Anything else you want to say before we get going on our material here?
Not that I can think of offhand.
All right. Well, tonight then I'm going to move on to, of course, getting started on the material at hand. So tonight we're going to be going through comics that went on sale from Ace magazines in July of 1940, which most likely meant that the cover date would be August or September of that year, of course. And we know it's typically 1 to 2 months covered between the release date and the cover date. So with all that being said, tonight we're going to be, of course, in this case, Ace Magazines only came out with one comic, which was Surefire Volume 1, Number 3. Now that's kind of an interesting one because for this series they actually published 4 issues, but the last 2 were like 3A and 3B. So the 4th issue was listed as 3B for some reason, or issue 3. So for some reason, but tonight we're going to be doing 3A, So we'll probably be reading through some features like Flash Lightning, the Raven, Ace's version of the Raven, of course. Maybe X, Phantom Agent. We'll see as we go along. We got a couple that we've probably read before, and then I'll just pick stories out more randomly since we're only doing the one book tonight. So, all right. Yeah. So, with that all being said, why don't we go ahead and get started here? All right.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Here we go. All right. We'll get to all this. All right. So again, for both my Rumble and my YouTube viewers, if you guys haven't already, guys can like and share the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people to engage. I'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So, with that being said, let's get going here. New fast faction thrillers from Ace magazines. Surefire Comics, 10 cents. Let's see. New adventures of Flash Lightning, X, the Phantom Fed, the Raven, Ace McCoy, and others. Look at that young lady right there.
Hey, I'd like to be that guy.
Yeah. One of most of us guys out there. All right, so Flash Lightning. Robert Morgan, young American, has been schooled in all the ancient and modern sciences, given great powers by the old man of the pyramids. He is named Flash Lightning and sent out to fight for the right at all times against all odds. Lightning receives a visit from the old man of the pyramid. I'll let you do Flash Lightning, and then I'll be the old man here. So I'll let you do Flash Lightning here. All right? And then we'll figure out the rest of the characters as we go along. Yeah.
How
Right.
shall I proceed?
There's one more word there.
Oh, sire.
My lad, there are big things for you to do. A foreign army, strong and well enough equipped to fight the American army, is hiding in the United States. 20 chartered buses have just taken 1,000 iron workers to an outing on Long Island. But they are
Hey,
not iron.
Fitzkilzo.
Oh, Fitzhozer's here. Hey, Fitzhozer. Let's see. Hey, Fitzhozer. Welcome to the show. 20 chartered buses have just taken 1,000 iron workers to an outing on Long Island. But they are not iron workers. These are the enemy, and they mean to seize Fort Holden near the picnic grounds. Go there at once. Swift as lightning, he streaks through the air. Your flash lightning.
Oh yeah. There's the phony iron workers outing. I'll drop down.
Hurry and get your lunch boxes, boys. Ha ha.
You want me to do? Oh,
Yeah,
that's. I
that
thought it
is
was.
you.
I thought that it was the guy in the orange. I don't like the way he said that. I'm going to have to take a look at one of those boxes. Mind if I borrow this for a moment?
The man slips free for a moment and give me that or
I'll give you this. Oh, and now for a look at this lunchbox. An automatic cartridge and a grenade, and every man here is getting one.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a comma there in between automatic and cartridges.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah, I
maybe.
think the way you read that, I figured you probably didn't. I know it's pretty small though, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I just happened because I happen to have my face like close enough to the screen to see it. So
Yeah, I see it now.
yeah, now that I said something,
Yeah.
lightning is discovered. And so it will be simple to storm the fort. Wait, over there is an enemy to our cause. Seize him. Hurry, hurry, you fools. He must not escape. You do one, then I'll do the other.
Kill him!
I'll fix him. There goes the grenade.
Low and outside.
Baseball reference right there. I guess he
Yeah.
figured he's catching a slider right there.
Yeah. Fireworks.
Now that's got to be a sight when you see a guy explode a grenade in his hand like that.
Yeah. I don't know too much about him, obviously, but right now he's seeming a little Superman-esque.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because I've read at least one of these stories before. I don't think it was with you. Obviously, it was somebody else. But initially, he's called Flash Lightning here, but eventually his name is changed to Lash Lightning to avoid
Okay.
confusion with DC's Flash.
And hello, Metal.
Metal's here, huh?
Yeah, he put up a thing of a Christmas tree.
Huh. As we're about to head into December there. Well, welcome to the show, Metal. And
Metal.
again, if you guys haven't already, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we will try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So with that being said, here we go.
I was just going to say, Metal, you have a show tomorrow, right? When is it? Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
his show is usually at well, let's see, it would be 7 my time, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. So the leader is amazed at seeing the grenade explode harmlessly in Lightning's powerful grip. He thinks he's tough, huh? Let's see what he can do with a whole load of grenades. Roll the bus down on him.
This thing is loaded with grenades. Jump!
I pity that guy when it hits him. I'll toss this grenade into the bus and explode the whole load just as it reaches that fool in the costume.
That thing, that thing is running wild. Is a menace. I'll have to stop it.
Lightning hurls a bolt at the runaway bus. Oh boy! That probably even triggered an even bigger explosion.
Yeah, that takes care of that. Now to catch one of these birds and find out who's behind all this. Fitzgerald saying I don't celebrate Christmas or any European holidays, so I don't need to be wished a Merry Christmas. Well, you don't need to be. It doesn't mean you can't be. And then Metal answers me, says Central, 9 Central, so I think that's 11 my time. That's 2 hours difference, I believe. Um, how long do you go for? An hour? Because I'm thinking meet if we can meet with you afterwards, after you're done, to go over my thing. If I stay up a bit late, I don't care because I want to get things done. Most likely tomorrow. I've got about half the comic to letter, so and then Fitzgerald asks, "Is this guy who's always fighting the green sorceress, or am I thinking someone else?"
You're thinking somebody else.
No gain.
Help!
Why, you're a girl.
Yes, I'm Marcia Rand. Don't hurt me. General Rand is my father. I've been spying on this outfit to try to get information and facts to prove to Dad that America is really in danger.
I'm Flash Lightning. I'll help you. Here comes some more of them in a car.
Stay where you are, you two, or we'll burn you alive.
Oh, no, you don't. Come on, Marcia. Let's ride.
It's Marcia.
Marcia.
Halt! Suddenly, the strange guns belch flame and strange guns belch flame. Oh my goodness! Sounds more like a
Yeah, I'm not
dragon
sure
than
whether
anything
that's I guess it's a description of them shooting fire, but I'm not sure whether it's the best.
else. Belch flame. It sounds more like what a dragon would do. Uh, we'll him in with a wall of fire.
Flames.
I actually,
Oh, that's probably her.
yeah. Flames.
We're caught. I'd better submit, or I might endanger the girl's life.
Good work, man. Make them prisoners of war. We're taking you to headquarters.
Now we're getting someplace. Now we're getting someplace.
This is kidnapping. In a few moments, the car stops before a carefully camouflaged plane hangar. Inside, Lightning and Marcia are headed into a waiting plane. The huge transport rolls out of the side of the hill and takes off.
Why are we heading right for that big cloud?
The plane climbs above the imitation cloud, and Marcia and Lightning look down upon. That only looks like a cloud. It is a giant floating fortress with the bottom covered with cotton wool.
I wonder if this is where Stan Lee or whoever got the idea for the Shield helicarrier.
Hmm. And Dad thought I was making a fuss over nothing. The plane lands on the floating fortress. Take them to the Grand Dictator. They are taken into the administration building and so these are the ones who caused so much trouble on the ground. I shall give them my special attention.
Who are you?
He is Miko, the Grand Dictator, and take your hat off in his presence. Hey girl, it's General Rand's daughter. I am honored to have such a distinguished guest. I shall be able to use you, young lady, to plan a little surprise for the general and his army. Oh, wait, no, actually. This is too much for Lightning, and he springs into action.
Get that ugly face out of my sight. Let's go outside where I have more room to move around.
Stop him!
Maybe I can use those planes without taking them into the air.
Using his tremendous strength, he rolls the planes into pursuers.
This is the latest strategy.
Stop him! I'll stop him. Give me that. Lightning. Surrender at once, or I'll blast this girl with a flame gun.
I can't throw a bull. I'll kill her too. Okay, you win. Don't hurt her.
Carefully guarded, they are taken back into the office. You will write to your esteemed father, the general, and tell him he can effect a big coup on the hidden enemy in America by sending his troops down to Angora Valley. I won't do it. No, I'd be leading my own father and his command into your trap. You can kill me, but I won't do it. But Lightning has a plan.
Better do as he commands.
Well, if you say so. There, I've written the note. Now you're being sensible. Captain, you are to fly this note down to General Rand and see that he receives it personally. Go ahead and be the captain there.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Lightning and Marcia are imprisoned. If you try to escape, my men have orders to sear the girl with flames.
Don't worry. Fine thing. I could break you out of here in a sec. But Marcia wouldn't have a chance. Hello? There's a plane coming in. Dr. Miko, it worked. The general is leading his troops towards Angora Valley.
God, calling all 1st District commanders. Miko speaks. While the American army is off on a false coup, seize all the arms and take over the city.
He has a phone hooked up with Earth. No, with Pluto.
Miko comes to Lightning's cell to gloat. See what a fool you were to try to fight us? We have planned too well. We are too powerful, and you helped us by telling the girl to write the note.
You're clever, all right, but not quite clever enough. Commander, you command your guards to leave Marcia cell, or I'll wring your neck.
Oh, yes. Ah! The guards are gone. Let me go. Guards, help!
I'll let you go for the time being. I've more important things to attend to. First, to get out of here. Miko's stooges. I'll have to give the gate. I'll have to give the boys the gate.
He's escaped.
Stop
him!
And here it is. Here it comes. Catch!
And Lightning hurls the iron cell door. Yeah! Then he races toward the edge of the floating fortress.
I've got to stop General Rand's army before they march into Miko's trap.
And looks down upon those marching soldiers.
Yeah.
You see here, okay.
If they go any further, they'll be caught. This will stop them.
General Rand views with alarm the wreckage caused by the bolt. The road is blocked. These woods must be mined. Give the order to retreat to the city.
Now they've turned back. Good. Now I'll rescue Marcia.
Lightning, I was afraid something had happened to you.
We're leaving.
Lightning races to the edge of the fortress and, holding Marcia in his arms, leaps from the parapet.
Don't be afraid. I won't drop you.
Oh!
Yeah, you're not going to drop me, but how the heck were we both going to survive?
Miko hears the news. The troops have turned back from the trap. They'll stop our uprising in the city, and Flash Lightning and the girl escape. It's all their fault. Send the fire planes to destroy them. Lightning, look, they've sent flame-throwing planes after us.
They'll never catch us. Now, I only got one question. Well, can he fly? Well, probably two. Can he fly? And B, even if he's falling or whatever, flying, why wouldn't he get down to the ground quick? There's no way that they should be able to have those planes in the air by the time he's down to the ground, either falling or flying.
Yeah. Well, it might be that he's flying, but yeah. Lightning and Marcia land near her father's troops, which are mopping up the invaders in the city. Marcia, where do you come from? From Miko's headquarters.
Look.
At a signal, Miko's parachute battalions drop from the sky as frightened crowds gather in the city streets. There's thousands of them. The city is doomed.
Stand back.
Gathering all his great force, Lightning hurls a gigantic bolt. You've destroyed them all. And the fortress, too. His work finished, Lightning streaks down the horizon. Come back here. Come back here, young man. I want to reward you.
So long. I hope we may meet again.
Back at home, you did a fine job, my son. But we still have a lot of work to do.
I am prepared, sir.
What new great adventure will Flash Lightning face in the next big issue of Surefire Comics? All right, Rick, overall impressions of that story?
Not too bad, except for the part where and it's more just because I don't know his powers, but whether he's flying or not, whether he's flying or not or falling. Like I said, I don't think the planes would be able to catch up to him to even fire at him. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, because he's already jumped over. The guys had to go get to the commander and tell him that the guy is escaped. And how long has he been escaped for by the time he found out? And then orders got to get to the guys to go and jump in their planes, and it takes a little bit of time to get in the planes and get them flying, and then to find the people that they're after. So to me, that's a little bit of leap in logic, or maybe a lot of leap in logic. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good story.
All right, no problem. I mean, I can see your point. I see your point to a degree, but anyways, get ready to move on to the next one here. The Raven. The Raven, mystery man who takes the law into his own hands and fights criminals with their own methods, hijacking them and returning. Excuse me, a moment here. Just clear this out real quick. Alright, anyways, getting back to the thing there. I had to clear something out there that just popped up. Hijacking them and returning stolen loot to owners until he is more feared by the underworld than the police. who also pursue him. No one but his assistant, Mike Collins, knows that the Raven is really Detective Sergeant Danny Darton. A city movie house after the last show. Here, here's here's tonight's box office receipts, sir. Over 2,000. You can be the manager there.
Oh, check it. I'll check it in my office.
Here comes the manager with the dough. Rockabye, buddy. Now, if I can get out of here without being seen. As the crook leaves the theater, the sharp eyes of the Raven follow him. Slug Dugan, the Slug Dugan leaving the theater with a briefcase. Yes. A half hour later, the crook arrives at the hideout of Corvell gang leader. Here's the dough, boss.
Nice work, Slug. We'll divvy it up now.
Good idea, Corvell. I'll take my share now.
The Raven? You ain't taking this. I worked hard for it.
Put that down, Slug. The greedy crook refuses. When I give an order, as the Raven bends to retrieve the briefcase, happy landings.
Oof.
I wouldn't advise anyone to follow me for a few minutes. Swiftly, the Raven climbs out the window. A little swing, and I'll be safe.
She's doing what? Well, technically, it would be the other way around, but the Green Hornet does, pretending to be the criminal to fight them.
Yeah. Right across this roof, now and into my car. At that moment, across the street, Corvell's gang rushed into the escape room.
The Raven's gone.
Let's see if there's any news about Slug's job yet. Theater robbed and the manager killed by a blow on the head. Leah Theater, a thug answering the description of Slug Dugan, etc., etc., etc.
Now we're all in for it.
Can I have it if the guy has an eggshell skull?
Only one thing will save us from the hot seat. We got to capture the Raven and use him to bargain with the police. I've hunch Mike Collins is the Raven's helper. We'll make him tell us who the Raven really is.
Meanwhile, in the Raven's car, well, when I get out of this, I'll call Mike. While the Raven, who is really Detective Sergeant Danny Darton, is on his way to a phone booth. I'll let you be the copy there.
Sergeant Darton, I haven't seen you in weeks.
How's everybody? How's everything, Jack? Can't talk long. I've got to make a phone call. Mike, meet me at our garage hideout. I want you to return the money to the theater that was robbed.
Boss, you ought to be careful. Fooling around disguised as the Raven. Don't forget you're engaged to the Captain Lash's daughter. And
Skip, skip it, Mike. I'm all right. Leaving the drugstore, Danny rushes down to headquarters. Hello, Captain Lash. I'm glad you're here, Danny. The commissioner is raising Cain about that movie murder holdup. At least you can't blame the Raven for that job. Maybe not, but I'm going to catch that fellow. This is bad. This is bad. Hello, Dad. Hello, Danny. Darling, I just spotted the Raven's helper up the street. What's that, Lola? Lash and Danny follow the excited Lola outside. Before I forget, when do we get married, Lola? Whenever you catch the Raven, Danny.
okay, so that'll
Okay.
be never.
Okay. You and Lola guard the rear of the garage, Danny. I'll take the front. I'm glad I brought my gun. Listen, honey. Listen, honey. The Raven is probably in there too. I'll go in and force them out the front. Mike, it's me. Get the car ready for a quick dash out of here. While Mike, yeah, uh, while Mike prepares the car, I'll slip into the Raven outfit and get Lola. I wish something would happen. Hmm. Lola has a back turned. Good. Help! Danny! Dad! That's great. Now Captain Lash will leave the front clear. Inside the garage, what a scrap she's putting up. Lola's some girl.
All set, boss.
He's got her gagged and everything.
Yeah.
Sorry about her gagged. It looks like. Uh,
This button to open the door is swell.
just what we need. An emergency. The Raven got away, and he captured Lola. You brute! I hate to do this to the girl I love. Oh,
I'll
no.
turn the radio on
Hold
to
on. I hate to do this to the girl I love. Now,
I'll turn the radio on till you get her tape.
Things are getting hot until he gets her taped. uh, things are getting hot. Um, things are getting hot. Head for our boathouse. Calling all cars. The Raven kidnapped Captain Lash's daughter. He is in a dark sedan, etc. Oh, I guess I should have read that after you read.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I forgot the shortwave on. I got the shortwave on. Listen.
we'll go inside and lay low for a while.
We can take the tape off her now.
As they enter the boathouse, the lights suddenly go on.
Corvus and his mob. Come on in, Raven, and bring your friends.
Stay there, out of range. Oh, wait, let me
We'll give them a bottle, boss.
Oh. And some of Corvell's men try to rush the Raven and Mike.
We shouldn't have tried to rush them.
No blitzkrieg for you, gents. Rick, you know what the term blitzkrieg is from, right?
Yeah, Second World War, I believe.
Yeah, World War II. Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, the Germans would blitz them.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg is basically the German word for rush, and then kamikaze is a Japanese word for rush. Well, no, actually, Japanese is the word for suicide. Sorry, suicide.
Yeah.
Attack. But
I don't think you read the panel before. Some of Raven's. Oh, no, Blitzkrieg.
I did read that.
Okay,
I
yeah.
did read that. That slug Dugan is grabbing Lola. Let me go. That's for hurting Lola, Slug. He got me. While Mike and the Raven's attention is diverted, Corvell sneaks up on Lola.
Quiet, sister, or you'll get it in the head.
We'll have to do as he. We'll have to do. Oh, in this case, I think in this case it starts from right to left.
Yeah. Surrender, Raven, or I kill the girl.
We'll have to do as he says, Mike.
We hit the jackpot, boys. Capturing the Raven, his assistant, and Captain Lash's daughter. I'm one scoop. In one scoop now, he'll have to bargain with us.
You're playing smart, Chief. Look, Corvell, let the girl and Mike go. You can do what you want with me. Gee, that's swell, the Raven.
I'll do what I want with you anyhow, Raven. And the first thing is to look at your mask. At your face.
This looks like the end of the Raven. Now Lola will know that the Raven is Detective Darton. At that instant,
now we'll see.
Whee!
You're gonna read the line?
Hey, boss, the cops! No, I didn't even see that at first.
Hi, slugs, cops. Turn on the lights and go outside and hide until they pass by. We can't get caught now.
I knew the special pocket knife inside my sleeve would come in handy. The raven cuts himself free and removes the body from the packing case. I'll have to work fast. Leaving Slug's body in the raven in the raven's costume and tied up um, and tied up in my and wait, leaving Slug's body in the raven's costume tied up in my place will give me plenty of time to escape. A few minutes after Danny Darton, alias the Raven, escapes.
Those coppers might be back any minute to search the boathouse. Take the prisoners out to the cabin cruiser.
The thugs don't know they are carrying the body of their own crony.
I thought this Raven guy was stuck. He's so scared he passed out cold.
The gang and their prisoners board the cruiser.
What? I got the assistant tied in the back in the other cabin. Because he can't take it, boss.
Detective Sergeant Danny Darton speaking. Tell Captain Lash I just saw the Raven and the captain's daughter being taken aboard a boat. I'm going after it in a phone booth. Should have read that part first, but oh well. It was nice of that fellow to loan me his speedboat.
So he's going after him in his phone booth? Just saying that because of the way you read it.
Yeah. If I can get on deck without them hearing me. Oh, you want to do the thug right there?
Hey, boy, you can't come here. Can't come.
More of Corvell's gang hear the scuffle on deck and rush in to battle Danny. Get him! Why don't you guys use an army? A few minutes later, quite a set to now to free. Quite a set now to now. Quite a set to now to free Mike. Beat it, Mike, and stay under cover until you hear from me.
I hate to leave the bar. Hate to leave you stuck out here, boss.
Captain Lash and the police arrive just as Danny finds Corvell. See, take that, you rat. Let's go below, Captain Lash, and free Lola, and get the Raven. I've been waiting a long time for this. That crook tried to hurt me, and the Raven killed him. Wait. Why this isn't Raven? It's Slug Dugan. Oh, wait. Why this isn't Raven?
It's Slug Dugan.
That crook tried to hurt me, and the raven killed him. A few minutes later, Danny and Lola are alone. The raven saved my life. Wonder if he's nice looking. Say, Danny, how did you get out here? I was knocked out in the garage. Then I trailed your captors out here. Does Lola believe Danny? The net draws tighter about Sergeant Danny Darton, alias the Raven. Don't miss the next episode in Surefire Comics. All right, Rick. Overall impressions of the story.
Pretty good. Yeah. What to say? It seems like a very typical. Uh, well, typical, but not typical. Of course, the good guy's playing a bad guy to try and get in with the crowd. Seem like he's not threatening. Um, and thus he ends up being a bigger threat to them than what they think. Although it makes him not seem like a good guy to the cops, which can be a bit of a problem. Like I said, the first place I heard about this sort of concept is more Green Hornet from the '60s, '60s TV show. The one that aired about the same time as Batman with Adam West.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not, and I know Green Hornet had a serial around this time too. So I'm not sure who came first, this Raven or the Green Hornet.
Well, I think, yeah. Well, I mean, also, I think the Green Hornet might have came first, but and from the TV show, of course, a young Bruce Lee played Kato in that. Well,
yeah. Let's see.
So. All right. So, anyway, anything more you want to add to that before we move on to the next?
I'm just gonna check on the Green Hornet thing. Do you know when this character first appeared?
Well, let's see. This book went July. So July of 1940 was an on sale date. So I'd say probably early 1940. I would say.
Okay, because Green Hornet is a superhero created in 1936.
All right. So yeah.
By George W. Trendle and France Stryker, with input from radio director James Jewell. So he was a radio character first.
Yep. All right. So
Green Hornet, is it Flakes? Oh, you meant cereal, not cereal.
Oh.
Yeah, like 1940s.
Rial as opposed to Cereal.
Yeah, they sound the exact same. So
they're homonyms, yeah. But
yeah.
Anyways, I need to step away from the computer for a moment, Rick. So why don't you go ahead and chat it up with the audience here for a moment? I'll be right back.
Okay. How is everybody? Is everybody enjoying the stories tonight? I hope you are. Oh, they're pretty. I'm finding them pretty good. I think the second one was a little bit better than the first. A little less. Unbelievability, and like I said, more with the, like I said, with the last one, it was more with the coming out of jumping down off the hidden battlefield. So, yeah. Um, so I'm not sure what to say. Any comments from people out there on this story or the first one? Well, Mike is back, so we'll probably won't be able to get to.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's get ready to move on to the next story as we're now just past the 1 hour mark here. So I think we're making good time considering we're only going over one book tonight. Let's see now. All right, so let's see now. Oh, we'll skip that. Ace McCoy there. Here we go. Marvel the Magician and Tito. I'll let you do Marvel here. I guess Tito's the little ape. Marvo the Magician and his monkey Tito, on the highway to adventure, approach a country carnival.
Oh, look, Tito, that girl is being harmed.
Cree, cree. Help, mister.
Leave that girl alone.
Stay out of this, you. Marvo ignores the warning and is attacked.
A sucker for a laugh.
He can't do that. The our pal moiter him.
Look, up there.
I don't see anything. I don't see nothing. Marvel creates the illusion that one of the planes has broken loose.
Octomodia Gesto.
It's coming right at us. Run!
Don't be afraid. I am Marvel the Magician, and that's one of my tricks.
It looks so real. My name's Janet Moore, and I want to thank you for helping me. Those crooks were trying to force me into signing my carnival over to them. They've already killed my manager.
So you own this carnival? Let's talk. Let's go in and talk things over.
Meanwhile, the crooks head back for their headquarters nearby. We'd have had the girl sure if that plane hadn't busted loose.
Tough break.
We'll have to tell the boss.
Think that's the one guy that you did in the
Yeah.
front free
Hey,
seat?
we didn't get the girl, boss. Like
What do
when the
you mean? What do you mean?
The crooks tell the story to their chief, Lars Vilner.
Oh, fix that, Janet Moore. Go back to the carnival. Do something to the scenic railway to cause a big wreck and get that button sky out of the way, too.
Oh, actually, I think it's Patinsky.
Budinsky? Okay.
Yeah.
Get that Budinsky out of the way, too. Oh, that makes more sense.
Well, I can see why you had a little trouble with that, only because of the fact of how
They
they
hyphenated it.
yeah, but potentially like Badinsky, basically,
Yeah, I've heard the word several times before, but
yeah,
hey,
but
I
I
don't think
think this
I've
is the
ever
first
seen it.
time either of us has actually seen it in writing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it's about the first time I've ever seen it in writing. And
Yeah,
then it's also hyphenated from one line to another, the last part. And the
yeah,
last part of it is a word that I would recognize.
right. A little later, as Janet and Marvo are near the scenic railway,
Want to go on that ride, Tito?
Chip, look, what are those? What are those men? What are those men doing? Why, they're cutting down the scenic railway supports.
I'll stop that. Hey, you birds. You can't cut through that with rubber saws.
Marvel again uses his magic powers.
Presto, Roberto. Roberto.
What's he talking about? What happened to these saws? They're
They're
all rubber, I'll be. This guy is starting to get in my hair. Let's polish him off. We're gonna take care of you. Tito, seeing his master in trouble, ties one end of the rope to the Ferris wheel. Creak! The monk ties the other end to one of the crook's ankles. Oh boy.
yeah. Wouldn't you see the monkey?
Well,
Did not,
not if you're not paying enough attention to what's going on around you.
yeah, but like I would like to think that I would feel somebody tying a rope to my foot, leg, putting the rope around several times. You know,
Suddenly, the Ferris wheel starts to swing up. Help! Look what that monkey did to Joe.
and how did they know the monkey? If they didn't see the monkey do it, how did they know the monkey did it? And if you see
Lars,
the monkey did it, why aren't you telling your buddy and stopping it before it happens?
Lars Vilner appears on the scene.
The boys seem to be having trouble. I'll have to fix things. Good for you, Tito.
Vilner grabs Janet Moore and
Get away from her. Get away from her. Don't come any closer, or I'll cut her throat. I don't give up. I give up. Don't kill her. The rest of you guys get Joe down from that wheel while I tie up this dame. Now, Miss Moore, I've got ways to make you sign this show over to me, and this guy won't be able to interfere. Tie him up, boys.
Marvel is bound and taken to a deserted tool shed. When the boss gets through with a girl, we'll start on you.
Anyhow, they didn't capture Tito. Yeah, and they did leave your mouth open so you can speak some magic words. Who knocked the side of that wall over? Outside of who knocked the
Are
side
you
out of that
deaf? The
wall over
walls are
there?
all right. Marvel works his magic, and the wall seems to disappear.
Benicio, Benici, look over there.
Hey, when did that happen? It is only an illusion, and the crook tries to rush out. He butts his head on the real wall. Oof!
How silly of you.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, but you would think instead of rushing, he would walk over, feel. But okay,
But
he's a crook.
as we know, the crooks back in those days were not always that bright.
Yeah, I was just gonna say something about a crook not being smart. So
Yeah, so Trip!
Tito, I'm glad you're here. Untie these knots for me. Hurry, Tito. We have to save Janet Moore.
Leaving the hut, they cross the carnival grounds.
I wonder where they went. You shouldn't steal things, Tito. Let's take a look in that old house.
Trip!
There they are. And they're torturing Janet.
What Marvel saw within the house.
Sign over the carnival to me, or I'll give you a hot foot like no one ever had before.
You wouldn't dare. Sure you ain't kidding, boss.
I'd better act fast.
He escaped! Marvel!
Humido Rodak.
Marvel creates the illusion that the handle of poker is also red hot.
Wow, the handle's red hot too. Too hot to handle, eh?
Now I'll repay this guy for stringing me up on that Ferris wheel. Suddenly, Tito pulls a plunger of the fire extinguisher and points it at the thug. Cree! 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 Ouch! Help! I'll be blind!
Kill that blasted monkey. I'll have to buy Tito a bag of peanuts for that.
uh,
I'm sick of this stuff. All of you shoot him at the same time and see if he can trick himself out of that. How am I going to get out of this? I'll scare them out of their wits. Let them have it.
Marvel creates the illusion of fierce cannonballs.
Better take care of your visitors first. All. Carnivorto.
Cannonballs!
Shoot 'em, fools. It's like
It's like what?
Like when they shot him before he even spoke the word about, got to think about cannibals and that, and then wouldn't you still shoot him first? And how do you know they're cannibals? They're just natives. Are all natives automatically cannibals for like Africa or whatever?
Well, I don't
These guys
know.
are really prejudiced.
Uh,
The bullets don't stop them. They're gonna get us.
I I'm just trying to find the cursor first, so I know to. All right. All right. They're going to get us. Gosh.
You crooks won't make very good eating. Too tough. Stop them. We'll do anything you say. Make him take them away, Miss Moore. Come out here one at a time, or I'll make them go to work with their spears. That takes care of the last one. You got us. Now take away those savages.
With a wave of Marvel's hand, the vision of the cannibals vanishes.
If you insist, Vanisho. Now, I'll just call the police. Those fake cannibals, those cannibals were fake. Another one of that guy's stunts. Well, where did you think cannibals came from, like, in a second? With this guy
Again,
around.
you remember what Batman always said about what Thomas Wayne always said about crooks, right?
They're fearful and superstitious lot.
Yeah, or they're a cowardly and superstitious lot.
Yeah, well, this goes beyond cowardly and superstitious. Like this goes. This is just not using your brain. They weren't there a second ago, and suddenly their pot and their spears all just suddenly appear out of nowhere. How dumb are you? How stupid are you?
Well, they were real enough because they were able to physically attack them. So, I mean,
well, we don't. There's supposed to be an illusion too. Okay, I can see the illusion being, real enough that you can't see through it. But as for any of the other ones, I don't think we're actually able to hit them in the story thus far. So, what makes these cannibals so special? And we don't even know that they're cannibals technically. Well,
I think in this case,
we know they're just
cannibal was being used, almost in the same vein as like savages or something like that. But
yeah,
actually, you make a good point there. Though they don't at least seem like they're actually making contact. So I can see your point there.
yeah. And the only reason we know that they're supposed to be quote unquote cannibals is because he says it, but he's not telling them it. He's just like, oh, I'm going to conjure up some illusions of cannibals. Well, to me, a cannibal is somebody who eats a person, eats people.
Well, that's what cannibals actually are. They eat flesh.
Yeah, with the flesh of other humans.
Yeah. Well, most. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But so these guys are just, there's something there, and we know they're going to eat us. How? Okay, there's savages. I get that. Savages can be violent. They'll just kill you for no reason, really, because you've encroached on their territory. So I can, and not all savages will. Sometimes they can be reasoned with, but they don't just appear out of nowhere. And you're in the middle, I believe, of America somewhere in this. So it's like, where did these savages just suddenly come from? These crooks have to be so stupid that it's unbelievable. Even back then, I don't think most crooks were that stupid.
Oh, I don't know. Well, remember, this is a magician. So for all we know, if they weren't illusions, right? If they were actually real, right? He could have literally teleported them from somewhere in a place like Africa or the Amazon or something like that. That's a possibility, you know.
I guess it's a minor possibility, but at that point, even the cannibals would be just as confused.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Because if you were some, a person that wasn't all that, aware of the big open world, and you're in your village, and suddenly you're in this house or whatever, nothing, the surroundings are the same, and there's suddenly all these other people there that you don't recognize. Wouldn't that be a bit confusing for you?
Yeah, well, I mean,
or a lot confusing?
again, depending upon his powers and so that, because he's a magician, he could have teleported them with a teleportation spell.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And then just did a mind control spell to where, he put it to where they basically were under his control, to where they didn't have time to process their predicament.
Okay, I'll give the possibility that's possible. I don't know what this guy's powers are, but in this particular story, up until that point, it's always been illusion.
All right.
Now, unless there's something beforehand to say it's more than just illusion, like in another thing, somebody who's reading it, who's read, the few issues before or whatever he's appeared. Yeah. Anybody else? I think
you just got a huge problem with this particular story because of the leaks in logic. It sounds like
yeah, especially with that cannibal thing. I could see the other ones. I forget, like what the other ones were. There was why even one of the other ones was
the wall.
Well, the wall was minor compared to the cannibals, and I think there was something else before the wall. I forget what. I'm not sure whether you want to scroll back up through slowly, but
no, since I find the curse, I guess I can do that.
Although we technically haven't finished up the story yet. But.
Well, I mean, we basically we've been talking about this one issue for quite some time too.
Oh, there's that wasn't the It was the monkey.
I remember now. I believe it was him with the cannonballs.
Well, the planes wasn't so bad. The planes wasn't so bad. No, I was talking about the monkey tying up. That wasn't an illusion, but that's just as. Then there's the wall. Yeah, so there's the monkey, the wall, the cannibals.
We're almost done with this story too.
Yeah. We got one panel left, I think. So
when the police arrive, Marvel takes his leave. I wish you'd stay and help run the carnival.
Tito would eat up all your profits. Besides, there's lots of trouble we have to poke our noses into.
Don't you just like that, how he said that?
Yeah.
Marvel, the Magician, and Tito in another thriller in the next issue of Surefire Comics. All right, overall impressions, Rick. I pretty much know you probably already gave them, but just kind of
No.
summarize your
For the
thoughts.
it was a little entertaining for sure, but obviously I would say not the best written, not the best thought out, in my opinion, of things based on what I know of the character, which I'll admit isn't much. Like I said, to me, he looks like he just makes illusions, and they're not see-through ones. So I get that. They look real, and that's fine. I can get with that. And you can be startled by something or whatever that like if you think planes are coming after you, that are off of a thing. Although there's a little bit of leap in logic that these planes suddenly break loose and thing, but maybe they're just flying out from it after it's broken apart. But that's
But considering we know that criminals tend to be considered pretty stupid to begin with, and pretty
especially this
gullible,
one.
and pretty gullible, right?
These ones are extra stupid. But like I said, I'm not a probably as a kid, I probably might have enjoyed it because I think back watching some of the cartoons that I've watched. I went back and watched some of the ones I watched as a kid, and some of the ones I loved, like um, uh, Battle of the Planets. I loved that as a kid, but I started watching it, and it's like, oh, I couldn't stand that stupid R2D2 wannabe.
Well, I think
And I
I've
know
told
that
you.
was added
I
in
think
for the American audience, but
yeah. I think I
as a
told you
kid,
this
I didn't
before.
mind them. I liked them. But as an adult, and
Yeah.
the stories weren't seemed a little bit more boring, a little too much talking for the Gotchaman and all that. But that's, talk about, I'm just using it as a relation thing, is from kid to adult, so
Yeah.
as a
Well,
kid,
the idea though for Battle of the Planets, though, Rick, as I mentioned, or as I probably mentioned to you before, they mutilated the show in such a way because they wanted to make it more kid friendly. The
yeah, and
it,
you know
it
what?
was
They
it
did.
was developed from the 1972 anime Science Ninja Team Gatchaman, and it was the original Japanese version of the anime was considerably more violent than
Yeah.
the
I,
kid
I and
friendly.
I'd probably like to check that out sometime. Um, but like I said, I was just using it as a reference, because I remember as a kid that I did love that show. I couldn't wait to watch it when I knew it was on, and then I like I said, I revisited it as a kid because I wanted to get some, or as an adult, I revisited it a few years ago to try and um, you know, because I hadn't seen it in years, and to revive my memories of it, because I remember parts of it,
Right. Well, with
and
some of
then
the
it was like, I hated the robot now. I remember I didn't mind the robot, or I liked him as a kid, but now I hated him. It was just a
well now, because as an adult, you kind of know that this is as an adult, like as a kid, they made it so kid friendly that of course as a kid it would have appealed to you. But then when you look back on it as an adult, unless you really have real fond memories of watching it, you know, and
I did
and can take that context with it, and when you now as an adult looking back on it again, you know, you're looking at it with different eyes, so you're gonna be a little bit more taken aback by it because
yeah.
it's like sometimes when you eat too much candy or whatever, when something's
Yeah.
really
Well,
cold.
like I'm pretty sure I was really fond of it as a kid. I remember really, really liking it and wanting to see it. When it came on. Um, like I don't remember. I didn't remember every single thing about it. Like it was enough in my memory that that I remember seeing it and basically remember the name. And I was seeing that, I think, from before I was like 6 or 7, like 5 or 4 or something like that. I could be wrong about my age when I saw it, but I know I liked it, and I went back to, like I said, went back and watched it.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you again?
I just turned 52 in June.
52 in June. So let's see. That means you were born in 1973, correct?
Yeah,
So you would have been about when it came out. If the dub came out in September, like a lot of cartoons did at that point, you would have been about 5 years old. I would have been two,
when
going on three. I was watching in the early '80s as well, the Battle of the Planets version. Now here's the thing:
yeah,
Giants Ninja Team Gatchaman first came into existence in 1972 in Japan. Okay,
yeah,
so a year before you were born. And
yeah,
then when Fred Ladd and his company got hold of it in '78, they wanted to turn it into. And I told you this story too before.
yeah,
They had edited it so badly that they had to actually add in the Seven Dark Seven character, that R2D2 character in there. He was not part of the original show. That was actually added in to replace all the excessive violent content that had been taken out.
yeah. Like
You
I
know?
said, the R2D2 wannabe.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it was meant because they quite so. Think about it from this perspective, okay?
oh yeah,
So normally, without commercial, so most programs get slotted with a half-hour time slot, right?
yeah, they're about 20 minutes or
When
20, 20 to
when you
25 minutes.
cut out all the commercials, when you cut out the commercials, that gets knocked down to about 22 to
So
24 minutes. Yeah, of
yeah,
pure show. If you take out all the commercials, right?
yeah, it gets down to like 20, 25 minutes, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
22 to 24 minutes. Okay. Battle of Planets, when they edited that for as a kids show, from what I understand, by the time you looked at everything, they quite literally took out about a third of the show. So you took a show that went from 22 to 24 minutes to about 15 to 16 minutes.
Yeah,
Which, you know, which if unless they added something in there to fill in the spot, that would have been quite a, I mean, theoretically, I guess they could have done two segments if they had just gone with the sheer show, but it would not have been as entertaining. I think to add
yeah.
the
Yeah,
content.
I get that. Like I said, I get that they added the Seven Zark 7 for, we'll say, the Western audience. And as a kid, like I said, I liked Seven Zark 7 as a kid. I didn't mind them. Going back and watching it as an adult, oh, that thing, he just drove me crazy with his insensitive babbling about nonsense.
Mhm.
It's like I wanted to shoot him.
Well, because he wasn't meant for Rick as an adult. He was meant for little Ricky as a little boy.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can get that. Well, especially after hearing that tale. Because when I went back and rewatched it, I didn't know that. You know, it was before I came in, got into the community, and found out that part in the community. I
Well, it
just, like I
wasn't
said,
until you met me because I was the one who probably brought it to your attention.
it might have been you, or it could have been like a couple other people, because I know a few people that have been in my channel before I met you, that were anime fans, that would have known that. Like
Well, anime
metal,
cartoon fans, yeah.
metal would have known that, I'm
Yeah.
sure. So I could have found
Well,
that out through him.
well, in terms of the whole Gatchaman history, right? So in '78, Fred Ladd dubbed it and edited it into more of a Saturday morning kids type cartoon. Then in 1986, Ted Turner got a hold of it to rebroadcast on TBS, and they actually redubbed it, adding back all the more violent content. It was known as G-Force when Ted Turner. So the Turner version of the dub had all the original content. That was called G-Force.
Yeah, well, I
And
had heard about it.
tried to do ADV back in the early 2000s. Tried to do their own dub of the original version, but wasn't a
Yeah,
successful.
I've never seen it. I've never seen the second version, the G-Force version. I looked at, because I I actually have a comic of theirs, Battle of the Planets, in my stuff. Um, because of the TV show, I guess. But um, yeah, I'm not sure what I wanted to say, but like, and I thought it was called G Force for the longest time too,
Mhm.
because they're called G Force in the show, right? This
Well,
in
okay. So I think in both English dubs and in the Battle of Planets dub and in the G Force dub, the team is called G Force. They're called
Yeah,
G Force.
and that's why
Okay.
I originally
Technically,
thought when I
technically
was trying to find it that it was called G Force.
right. Partly because they had the big G on there, but the team name in Japan is Science Ninja Team Gatchaman.
Yeah, so the T10 stands for Gotchamon. Okay, I get that, and I get that, But I'm just saying, as a kid, remembering it when I when I went to look for it as an adult to try and find it,
Mm-hmm.
to rewatch it, to get some fond memories, to know it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for it as G Force originally, and then I found out no, it was called Battle of the Planets. It's like, okay, that's weird. I thought it was G Force, and that's probably because, like I said, they were called G Force
Well,
in
I
it.
mean, yeah, I mean the show was dubbed like two or three, as I said, was first by Fred Ladd and his company.
Yeah,
They did the Battle of Planets dub, and then later on, Ted Turner did a dub
yeah,
version with that was G
but
Force, and then of course ADV did a dub of it in the 2000s, and in both the G Force and the ADV dubs, they had they had returned all the more violent content to the show. But
yeah, and then unfortunately, in I think the 2000s sometime, there was a movie called G Force, which had nothing to do with Gatchaman. It was a bunch of guinea pigs with advanced technology.
right,
But anyway, I think we've beaten this horse really bad, this dead horse really good. Probably a
yeah.
little too much.
Well, I mean, we're at hour 37, coming on hour
Yeah,
38, so we might have enough time to get through one more story before I.
yeah, or a small one, anyways, the one that's maybe 4 pages or something like that. Um, but yeah, that was sort of my point to get on. It is. This is supposed to be about reading comics. Yes, we discussed stuff about it, but to me, I was just trying to relate it back to my childhood. In the sense of kid watching something versus adult watching something or reading something. It would very be very different.
Yeah, what I'm saying. I think maybe we will just start to wrap things up now. I mean, because we're at hour 38, it's still gonna take me because with everything, first off with the normal end stuff we do here, and all that, and then of course this day in each history and all, and your final promotions. It's still going to take us a few minutes to do. So I think we'll wrap the reading up here as is.
Yeah, and if we end
We
up
got through pretty
a
short. We
couple
got through
minutes
pretty short.
early,
Huh?
and if we end up a couple minutes early, that's all right too.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's what I was kind of trying to get for, is like a few minutes early. Like I was trying to hit hour 55 as opposed to getting the full 2 hours. But so, anyways, with that, so okay, so we did read 3 features tonight. Um, let's see, the Raven, Flash Lightning, and Marvo the Magician. So out of the 3, Rick, which one did you like? Which one did you either like the most or made the best impression, and why?
The one that I liked the most, or you made the best impression, was Marvel the Magician. Not. No, it was the Raven. The Raven was definitely, I think, the best of the 3 tonight. I think it was the most well written. You know, though I don't think there was any real leaps in logic. If they were really small. Uh, it's a concept that's been well. I'm not sure how long it had been around at the time, but it had been around since 1936, at least in the 30s, with Green Hornet. So they were adapting just a new character. Hey Jefferson, how are you? So that it's neat seeing somebody else pick up on that concept of, oh, let's have the hero pretend to be a villain to get the bad guys. You know, I'm not sure how many other characters were around besides Green Hornet at the time. I think we've read one other one similar to that in the past by a different company. I could be wrong. Maybe we read the Raven together before.
Those kind of pulp-like costume here, like the Shadow would have been one.
Yeah, but he wasn't one. He rescued people and he got people on his side. He developed a network of people to help him out. So
there's also the Owl. There's also the Owl, I believe.
So I wouldn't consider the Shadow pretending to be a villain to be get in with the bad guys to stop them. At least not like the Raven or Green Hornet. But that is definitely of tonight's ones that we read. That was definitely the one that I think would be the best. Okay, is the Raven.
All right. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Anyway, okay. So with that being said, by contrast of the two remaining stories, that being Flash Lightning and Marvo the Magician, which one did you like the least or made the least impression, and why?
Well, I think we already know, and I can't do what I just did for the good first one with it and say Raven and then go, no. Obviously, it was, I think, almost obvious to anybody that's been watching the last little while tonight. It was Marvo the Magician. The leaps in logic for me is just astounding on it. I'm not sure how I would do it differently. And have somewhat of the same outcome. In some ways, I think it would be better if they didn't fall for some of the stuff, like the cannibals, and he had to come up with a better way. There's just, like, oh, we're all shoot up. Hey, everybody, shoot them all at once. Boom. Let me think for a second. That's what it would have been in real life, in my opinion. Before you can even think cannibals. Boom. But somehow he's able to get time to think cannibals, and then he says cannibals, or whatever his magic phrase was to get them to appear. And it's like, then they're all, there's cannibals, there's savages. And instead of firing on him, they focus on the cannibals. Hello, you were just told to fire on this guy. Shoot him and then shoot the cannibals.
Oh, I mean, that could have been more of a surprise kind of. They were just so shocked by all of a sudden seeing cannibals that they couldn't think. That could have been it. Illusions not only sleight of eye, but also they can be distracting in that they throw your thought process completely off too.
Yeah. Well, you think you wouldn't think. I'm not sure how many of them there was. I'm not sure whether it shows completely how many there was. But you think one would at least shoot him before switching targets.
Yeah.
And especially since they've seen him do the magic already. Oh, these are illusions. You would think that they would think that at first. Or at least the big guy in charge might be and say, hey, these are not real. They're illusions. He's done it before. Shoot him. But anyways, like I said, leap in logic, definitely I would have had it I know what I wouldn't have included. I don't know what I would have done for the full story. Obviously, I would need a little bit more time to think about something like that. So, yeah, obviously almost obviously because of all the leaps in logic, in my opinion. You know, the wall, the monkey tying the rope around stuff. Not that a monkey couldn't tie rope around stuff. That is believable, but the fact that
You
the
were
guy
saying
didn't
because
notice
they weren't paying attention to the monkey as much. You thought they would have picked up on the fact that the monkey was doing something long before it got through with anything. Is what you're basically.
Yeah, well, if I think I would feel something on my foot touching my leg. If like how easy do we feel a mosquito or a fly land on us and we feel it, right?
Well, not everybody does though. Not
Yeah,
everybody does. You know.
but then the other guy in the story says, "Oh, look what the monkey did!" Basically,
Yeah.
that means you saw the monkey do it because otherwise wouldn't know that there was a monkey there to do it. Well, you might have known that you saw the monkey, but how do you know the monkey did it? The monkey could have been anywhere else. That means
Monkey
you had to
see,
have seen the
monkey
monkey do it.
monkey all over you.
That means you had to have seen the monkey do it. And if you're on this guy's team, why are you letting the monkey do this to him?
All right. So anything more?
So,
Anything more to say
I
on that,
not
or
go too much more. I think I can quit there. I've been
yeah,
over a
you're
little
like
bit.
I mean, you're not just beating the dead horse at this point. You're taking an axe to the horse and dissecting it.
Yeah. Oh,
All right. So
at least I'm
anyway,
having a little fun with it, right?
all right. So let me just double check some things here, and then see. All right. So with that, we're going to now go ahead and move on to this day in each history. As today is Sunday, November 30th, 2025. As we said, the last day of November. So now we're going to take a look back at this weekend in Nietzsche history. History! First off, I would actually like to wish a happy belated birthday by one day. As on yesterday's date, the 29th, um, wishing a happy birthday to Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel, who is, of course, the actor, comedian, voice actor, and all that.
And Canadian.
And he's Canadian, yeah. He turned 70 yesterday. Now, on the, of course, on the animation side of it, because people know him, of course, from his work on ER, or not ER, but St. Elsewhere, among other things. But on the animation side, he provided the voices of Skeeter, Animal, and Bunsen in Muppet Babies. And then, of course, in the 90s, he gave us Bobby's World, which introduced us to the generic family, not to be confused with a generic. We were, of course, introduced to Bobby and Howard generic by Howie Mandel. Happy
Yeah, and I watched that. I wonder whether if I rewatched it, I would have any non-fond memories.
Now, also, I'm going to throw this in as a little bit of a bonus here. I normally wouldn't do this because, of course, the actor died. After that, I'm going to talk about died 3 years ago here. But today, Kevin Con had he still been living, had he not passed away 3 years ago, would have turned 70 today as well. Kevin Conroy, of course, known as Batman in the DC animated universe, DC universe animated original movies. Uh, Batman of Zur-El and Batman Brave and the Bold. Basically, it was Batman to most people, among other characters. But Kevin Conroy would have turned 70 today had he still lived, but passed away about 3 years ago, back in 2022. All right, so moving on then. Moving ahead to the year 2020 on yesterday's date. And I get to that. Yesterday's date in the year 2020. The second and final episode of Project Number 9's OVA Katana Maidens Tomoshibi was released on this date back in 2020. So 5 years ago today, Project Number 9's OVA Katana Maidens Tomoshibi was released on this date 5 years ago today. Oh, there we go with that. Now moving ahead to today's dates, of course. First off, on this date 20 years ago today, in the year 2005, this date in the year 2005, as soon as I grab that. The fifth and final issue of CSI New York Bloody Murder went on sale on this date back in 2005 from IDW. IDW's CSI New York Bloody Murder number 5, the fifth and final issue of that particular story comic, went on sale on this date 20 years ago today. It sold for $3.99, with 32 pages. And finally, 10 years after that, on this date in 2015, so 10 years ago today, 10 years ago today on this date, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Were you about to say something, Rick?
No, I just hiccuped. That's all.
Okay. So on this date in 2015, about 10 years ago, of course, a little over a week after Survivor Series, the main event saw the faction known as the League of Nations of Sheamus, King Barrett, Alberto Del Rio, and Rusev, and the New Day of Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods team up to defeat Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the Usos in a 7-on-4 handicap match in the main event of the evening. Charlotte, with her father, defeated Becky Lynch on this date. Roman Reigns defeated Sheamus by DQ in the match of the WWE World Heavyweight. I think that's what eventually led up to that main event right there. Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Tamina defeated Brie Bella with Alicia Fox by submission. The Usos versus the Lucha Dragons ended in a no contest in the number 1 contendership match for the WWE Tag Titles. Let's see. Tommy Dreamer and the Dudley Boys went to a no contest with the Wyatt family in a 6-man tag match. The show opened up with Dolph Ziggler defeating Tyler Breeze in about 10.5 minutes. So there we go with that. So that's all we got for you guys tonight. So before, of course, we head out, gonna give Rick an opportunity here. Do any last promotions that he may want to do? And if you, of course, stick around after the show as well for some post-show stuff, I'd appreciate it as well, Rick.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Anyways, stage is yours, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna say, for those that haven't, go check out my YouTube channel. I'll be over there doing various shows throughout the week, and promoting maybe promoting some of my stuff. Just in the moment, almost ready to go to print my latest comic. So yeah, come by, check out what's going on through Cross Comics. I'm sure you'll love it. And yeah, that's about it. Just Cross Comics here on YouTube.
All right. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.